I was teaching the class with married couples, and the question always comes up, hey, we want to invest. How should we start investing? There are people in the class that have PhDs, very smart people, very wealthy people, even attorneys and CPAs. So it's not about how to make money. It's really about how to communicate with your spouse with money decisions. But I always get the question, hey, we want to start investing. How should we invest? Where should we start? So I already have a ranking, an order at which you should start investing. And I'll share it with you like I shared with the class, because I think this is something that is so helpful. It's been helpful for me, and it's helpful for everyone I talk to that says, hey, I want to start investing. Where do I start? So the very first thing is I teach investing in a framework called Tisha Extra. Tithing, investing, saving, housing, auto, eating, X is X-ray, which is medical bills, T, taxes, R, recreation, and the last A is all other spending. So starting with tithing, that should be the first thing you think about when you're thinking about, hey, I got money, what should I do with it? You should think, how can I be generous with this? Because that will make you the best investor ever, is thinking in terms of generosity. The very next thing on Tisha is I, which is investing. Investing and saving should really be happening at the same time. Really, tithing, investing, and saving should be happening all simultaneously. So if I earn $10 and I am going to tithe 10%, invest 10%, and save 10%, those should be happening essentially at the same time. Now, the only difference is if I'm saving money, like let's say I start at zero, I'm broke, or I just got a job, my first job, and I'm saving money, you want to save aggressively. So if you're investing 10%, you should be saving the same amount that you're investing. You shouldn't be investing more and saving less. You should be investing 10% and saving 10%. However much you can invest, you want to save that same amount of money until you get to the point where you saved about 6 months worth of your expenses. So if it costs me $10,000 a month to live, to eat, to pay my car note, to all of my expenses, if that cost me $10,000 a month and I've saved $60,000, now I can stop saving so aggressively and transfer that into investing aggressively, right? So now my saving might be 1% of my income or 2%, while my investing is 18 or 20%. If I were going 10-10 at first, I can flip that and go 19% investing, 1% saving. Let me mention this. The reason why we want to save, we'll call it 6 months worth of expenses, is because if something catastrophic happens, you lose your job, you get injured, there's a death in the family, something happens that causes you to need to take off of work, or something that causes you a big cost. You have saved money, so you don't need to go into debt to pay it off. That's why you want to save 6 months or so worth of your income for emergency. When an emergency happens, you are not stressing out over the emergency. You can simply deal with the emergency. Now back to the investing. The first place you should be investing your money is consumer debt. So what do I mean by that? So here's an example. Let's say I have $10,000 in savings and I have a $2,000 credit card debt, right? If my savings account is getting me 1%, but this debt is costing me 8%, I immediately should pay off that debt that's 8%, because it is mathematically the equivalent of earning risk-free, tax-free 8% return. It's guaranteed, right? If I have a debt and I'm paying off that 8%, it's guaranteed return. It's beautiful. Like, you should immediately do that. And a lot of people go, well, I want to be a crypto person. I want to be stocks, bonds, calls, puts, real estate, flips, land banking, all this other fancy designer investing stuff. So that's the first thing you should do, is pay off any debt you have. The second step for investing is what I call free money. Some people have jobs where their employer will match their 403B or 401k up to 5%, 2.5%, 3%, whatever it is. If you have an employer match, that's free money. And if your employer matches you 5%, you should be giving 5% so that you get that match. That is free money. You should do that before you do any other investing, is get that free money. The third thing you should do is what I call discounted money. You're not necessarily chasing returns, but you're buying assets at a discount, leveraging the tax code. So let me tell you what this looks like. For example, the HSA, it's a triple tax arbitrage. A Roth 401k or Roth IRA, tax-free compounding. So this category is predictable, it's structured well, and it's the government giving you a free boost. The fourth thing I would recommend is what I call government help. This is slightly different than number 3, which is discounted money, which is normally tax code stuff. But number 4, government help would be, for example, things like opportunity zones, right? Purchasing in opportunity zones where the government lets you do some investing, and then if you hang out for 10 years, they wipe away taxes. That's the government helping you. VA loan, something as simple as a VA loan as a first-time home buyer. You can use a VA loan because there's all kinds of government help with the VA loan. Also in real estate, the government helps a lot with depreciation, deductions for things like property taxes. This is a great way to invest. So for someone who says, hey, I want to invest in something like cryptocurrency versus I want to buy my first house that I can use a VA loan and I can write off the property taxes, I'm going to push you towards the real estate stuff because you get government help for that. You don't get government help buying crypto. After you do those things, then you can move into more traditional investing, things like the stock market, things like cryptocurrency, things like investing in businesses, calls and puts and things like that, after you've already done the first 4 things. So a lot of people just want to jump into what they see on TV, which is the stock market or crypto, but there's all kinds of investing steps in particular that you should be taking advantage of before you jump into, hey, I want to buy stocks, or hey, I want to buy crypto. And the last investment, which is not even an investment, it's speculation, is what I call gambling. It usually shows up in 2 forms. One is your buddy, your cousin, your friend, who's like, hey, I got this awesome opportunity. It's pre-IPO, invest in this with me. I'm putting in 50,000. You should put in as much as you can because it's going to skyrocket and go crazy. That's a gamble, right? If you're not doing research for it, you don't know about it, and it's a big secret, you might as well roll the dice, right? Maybe you'll be rich and hit it big, but that's not an investment, it's speculation. And if you're going to speculate, that's okay. But if you have $100,000 worth of money to invest, maybe $5,000 of it should go into that speculation bucket where you're going, hey, I don't know much about this. It sounds amazing. I could get really, really rich. First heard of cryptocurrency. My wife wanted to put in like 10,000, and I was like, of our investment, I was like, that's too much. I don't even know what this is. Let's do 2,000. So we put in 2,000, and I think we bought 2 Bitcoins or whatever it was at the time that $2,000 could buy. And of course, we won over time. And so that was awesome. But we've also done things similar to that where we put in 10,000 and we lost it all. So take a little bit of your money, put it in there. If you win big, awesome. If you don't win, you're not missing that money because it was speculation anyway. So this is how I recommend that you invest.